I booked 348 sales calls last month, and I want to show you step by step exactly how I did it. I really wanted to do a hard push for January, so I changed my offer a little bit and I needed a game plan. In 2022, I helped over 100 agencies create a system to get over 120 sales calls per month, and I was helping more established agencies and it was working really well. But I noticed some other people trying to become gurus in this space, and I knew for a fact that I was way better than them. I know that sounds narcissistic, but my offer was better, my product was better. There was no reason that I shouldn't be dominating the market. Now, I've been using YouTube to get sales calls pretty consistently over the last 8 months. And then I wasn't really trying, I wasn't really putting a lot of effort into my videos. But now it's personal. Now I want to become the #1 agency channel and the #1 business channel on YouTube. So I started studying other gurus, other successful creators, just trying to understand what they were doing so I could model their success. I also paid for a call with Derral Eves' team, the guy that wrote the book on how to grow on YouTube. And I asked him some questions on what direction I should take with my channel. I also hired a closer because I noticed a lot of people just wanted to talk to me. So if they had to talk to a closer to get to me, a lot of people would convert into actual sales. So everything was set up and in place. I knew exactly what I needed to do. And so now it was just a matter of time to become the #1 guru in this space. So I started working on a video, which was I spent 1,000 days in SMMA. It's basically my agency life story up until this point. I added a lot of elements of things that happened over the years. I try to make it super engaging and super fun to watch, and also just a good title and thumbnail overall. Because something that the Derral Eves team told me is that those are the two most important things, is click-through rate and view duration. So people watching to the very end of the video and people actually clicking on the video. So I spent a lot of time on this video trying to get it super perfect and make sure that everything was right and in place. I uploaded the video and just waited for all the calls to roll in. But the video did terrible. Like in the first couple days, it only got a couple hundred views. And I was like, dude, I spent all this time and all this energy trying to make this video perfect, and it's just my luck that nothing happens. It was actually performing worse than my average videos. And so I was just like, I didn't know what to do from there. But then after a couple of days, it got 1,000 views, and then it hit 2,000 views, and then it hit 3,000 views, and it just continued to grow exponentially. My closer started getting calls booked on his calendar from this video. Then it hit 10,000 views, 20,000, 30,000, and it just kept going. My closer was getting 50 calls per week, and his calendar was completely packed out because people just wanted my service. And so once I was gaining traction, I needed to make more high quality videos so that the audience stayed on, because people would watch the video and then just leave. And so I needed a lot more high quality videos. So I started creating other videos. I tried to make them as high quality as I could and just push them out as quickly as I could. And I spent a lot of time on these videos. It took me about an hour to write out the script, an hour to record, and then about 8 hours to edit the whole thing. And I wanted to make sure people watch the whole thing, so I made the videos really short, cut out all the fluff so that people would stay till the end. I started getting a ton of messages from you guys on Instagram. I was also trying to make my own thumbnails the entire time, which was, I was doing a terrible job at that. And we were booking a ton of calls, but actually a lot of people were no-showing. They would just book a call, they didn't really know what they were doing, and they thought they were just gonna talk to me. And then once they realized it was my closer, they just wouldn't even show up to the call. And so it became kind of annoying, so we added some extra questions to our questionnaire when they filled out the form, just so we were getting higher quality people. There was also some people that thought the offer was $15,000 and therefore they didn't book a call when the offer was actually $2,000. And so I missed out on some calls because of that. But we were consistently closing deals, which was awesome. And I created a Discord group so that people could just join the group and they could, share wins with each other or share kind of their strategies. And a lot of people were helping each other out within that Discord group, which was awesome. People were also getting really good results out of the program, closing $36,000 deals within the first week of them joining the program and getting tons of sales calls. So as the month went on, I was really just trying to chase the high of that one video that now had 60,000 views. But still, none of my videos were doing really well. They were all not reaching outside of my audience. So I paid for another call with Derral Eves' team just to ask them some more questions. They told me basically YouTube doesn't view every video the same. If you have a 3-minute video and you have 50% of the audience stay until the very end of the video, then YouTube doesn't really see that as successful, because what you're really looking for is like a 70% retention on a 3-minute video, something that short. And so if you have a 10-minute video that has a 50% retention, then YouTube views that much higher because you're having people stay for much longer. So I started just making longer videos and trying to have higher retention throughout the entire thing. But still nothing was popping off outside of my audience or really popping off like that one video did. A couple things I did learn throughout this experience is you want to provide value, but also tell a story. The videos that had the best retention for me, they just had an amazing story. So people just want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like they connect with you. And the reason I think the first video did really well is it was just my story, right? It was just 1,000 days of SMMA, everything that happened to me, all the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And so people really connected with that. I got on a ton of calls where people feel like they connected with me in some way because, they saw that I had to stop the agency and do DoorDash for a couple months because it just wasn't working and all this other stuff, and they could really connect with me in that way. The next thing I learned is you always want to position yourself as the high status and authority figure. You want to be the only known source for getting the end result that your audience is looking for. I've heard the saying that's everyone's walking around with their umbilical cord in their hand looking for someone else to plug it into. And this is kind of true. I mean, like, if you think about it, we've all bought something because we assumed that someone else knew more than us. They had our best intentions at heart, and so we just blindly followed them. Like, if you've ever been to the doctor and took in a diagnosis, if you've ever bought a product based on somebody else's recommendation, you just blindly followed them. You were willing to give up the power to somebody else to make the decision for you so that you didn't have to think much about it yourself. When I worked at Best Buy, I realized this a lot because people would come up to me and say, hey, I would want to buy this TV. I would say, you know what, I don't really know much about TVs. They would immediately cut me off and say, if you're not the expert, get me someone that is. Now, when it came to cameras, I was the camera expert. I knew every camera in the store and what it was and what it did. And so when people came in for a camera, they came to me because I knew what I was talking about. And so they would tell me their problems, their situation, what they wanted a camera for. I would give them a diagnosis of, if I were you, I would buy this camera for this, and this reason, and it would fly right past their head. They would buy the camera just because I sounded like I was the expert. I knew what I was talking about. I was an authority in their eyes, and I made sure that they knew that I knew what I was talking about. Now, that's like, no one is really sure for themselves. No one is really 100% certain in themselves. And so if you just go in as you're 100% certain, you know exactly how to get the end result that they're looking for, then you're always going to win. And like, this is probably the best advice that you will ever receive in the coaching space. Your next best move in your business is not finding someone else who has all the answers. Your next best move is convincing someone else that you have all the answers. And if you go out like this, like you are 100% confident, you have the authority and you have the status, then sales just becomes a walk in the park because it's just so easy to sell when someone is convinced that you know what you're talking about and they have no clue what they're talking about. And it's going to be really hard to sell if they're not really 100% sure in you because you're not even 100% sure in yourself. I truly believe that I am the #1 best at cold outreach because I don't know anyone that's tried as much as I have, that's done as much as I have, that's getting the results that I'm getting. And so I boldly proclaim that in all my videos that I'm the best at this. And honestly, you don't really need to be the best in order to do this. You can literally just go out with one case study. And so if you get one case study or one result from one client, you can just blast that out to your entire niche saying, hey, look, this is the results that we're getting with this client, and we can help you get the exact same results. Buy something from me. The last thing I learned is that great artists steal. So look at top performing ideas, strategies, videos in other industries and other niches and apply it to yourself. The video I did at the beginning of the month that has more views than all my other videos combined is an idea that I got based off of a Minecraft YouTuber. What I did is I just looked at creators in different industries and I took their top performing videos and just thought, how can I apply this for myself? So like the Minecraft YouTubers, a lot of them do how I survived 1,000 days in hardcore Minecraft or trying to survive 1,000 days in hardcore Minecraft. So I was like, how can I apply that to social media marketing agencies? Also, you don't have to just look at the best in your industry, and that's probably even a bad idea because if I was checking the best people in my industry, I would still be making really low quality videos because the people that are the best in my industry aren't really that great. So don't try to stay inside your industry when looking for new ideas because it just creates this echo chamber of everybody saying the same thing. And so if you look outside your industry, you'll find much better ideas. So as the month was wrapping up, we were getting more high quality sales calls, so more people closing towards the end of the month. And then also people have been watching me for a couple weeks because they found the initial video, then I kept posting videos and they kept watching, and then they were book a call after a few weeks, and so they were already high quality, already willing to buy. So after 1 month of me trying to get as many sales calls as possible and become the #1 guru in my space, here's what happened. I gained 5,000 subscribers. I booked 348 appointments. I closed a $90,000 and we had $51,000 cash collected. And the month before I did like $20,000. So I went from 20,000 to 90,000 in 1 month, which was an amazing jump. I've put together all the frameworks that I'm using for my videos and how I do them step by step, and I'm putting them in my program. So if you're interested in getting 348 booked appointments and closing $90,000 worth of deals in 1 month, you can book a call with me and my team below. I'll talk to you soon.